Thousands of years ago, there were creatures called pillows, which had the ability to step back and forth between the mushroom universe and the dream universe. One day, a pillow had a nightmare, and a bat fed upon the pillow's nightmare. With the new power, he claimed himself Phantasma, the Bat King, and he searched for the treasure of the Pillow Kingdom. They had two stones, the Dream Stone and the Dark Stone, which both could grant wishes. When Phantasma stole the Dark Stone, the pillow's deity, the Zkeeper, fought him. Phantasma used the stone to trap all of the pillows and chunks of it, shattering it. The Zkeeper managed to at least trap him in the dream universe. For a long time, absolutely nothing happened. But then newcomers came to the island, and Phantasma forged an alliance with Bowser to get the Dream Stone and rule the world together. Their plan went well, and they even created a doomsday laser, but Bowser got greedy and betrayed Phantasma. Ever have a nightmare? Think Phantasma. He is the literal embodiment of the nightmare. While he may be despicable, he is surprisingly sharp, cunning, and meticulous. Phantasma can literally kill you in his sleep. Many religions speak of a malevolent deity, Lucifer opposing God, Hades opposing Zeus, evil plants opposing the big rock who watches. The truth behind these myths far exceeds the tales, and his name is Bonechill. It is not known whether he ever walked among the living, but he once was a type of angel called a Nimby. He resided in the land of the dead, the realm where all whose game has ended go. The good among them can go to the Over There, a peaceful sanctuary for all the angels, ruled by King Granby, who is assisted by his wife, Queen Jades, who judges the sins of those who wish to leave the Underwear for the Over There. Eons ago, this six-winged Nimby betrayed King Granby and tried to take his throne. For his betrayal and deception, he was cast down by King Granby to forever live in the Underwear, and he was imprisoned in a cell by Queen Jades. Over the course of millennia, he became more and more sinister, changing his form into a grotesque monstrosity. He became popular among the evil souls whose games were over. They changed in his image into the Skeleton Army, and they broke him from his prison, and he, now known as Bonechill, climbed his way back up to the Over There, and he waged war with the Nimbies. Mario and his allies, visitors to the Land of the Dead, managed to stop Bonechill before returning to the Land of the Living. Bonechill still seeks vengeance upon all those who wronged him. He deserves power, not some idiot plumber nor some bumbling old fool with a beard. Some of the Skelobit minions have already crossed the void to the Land of the Living. Bonechill isn't far behind. He cannot be killed, for he is already dead. Cackletta is an old beanish witch. She's a member of a species that descended from intelligent plants, but she's a traitor to her kind. She disguised herself to slip through immigration back into the Bean Kingdom, the country just to the south of the ever-popular Mushroom Kingdom. She tried many times to unlock the power of the Beanstar to try to gain power for herself, but her attempts failed. Eventually, she was defeated. However, even in death, Cackletta would not find peace. After being brutally defeated, her assistant Fawful used a machine to suck her soul out of her body, and he placed it in the nearest body he could find, Bowser's. She and Bowser became one, and she rampaged until the Mario Bros once again taught her a lesson. Now, she walks again in her true form. Her body may not be her strongest trait, her spirit is. Literally. Her spirit dies separately from her body. Forget all prejudice you may have about women, the elderly, and Flora, for when facing Cackletta, laughter will get you killed and only make her cackle. He is matter. He is antimatter. He has seen the past, and he has seen the future. Time itself fuels him, as does warfare. Helix comes from an alternate universe called Vanda, and it has some similarities to the Final Fantasy universe. In his universe, however, a wizard known as the Dark Mage rules supreme over evil conquest, conquering world after world, dimension after dimension. The Dark Mage learned of another world, the Mushroom World and sent a dark knight named Culex to fight on his behalf. Upon arriving, he discovered that he couldn't survive in a world made of only matter, and their two universes were incompatible. He set up a shack in Monster Town, enchanted to allow him to live there temporarily. His mission was recalled. He was to come home, for this universe could not be conquered. He decided to only leave once he defeated this world's strongest warrior. A team approached him. At the head of the group was Mario, assisted by Mallow, Geno, Bowser, and Peach. They sparred, and Culex gained a respect for Mario. Despite their differing goals and beliefs, they left as comrades. Culex, Conqueror of Worlds, might be a friend by mere luck or coincidence. However, he is an ally of Mario. Call him what you may, malevolence, murderer, conquistador, circumstances have put Culex on the side of the Mushroom World, even if for no other reason that he cannot rule it and that he respects Mario. We should be grateful. Some legends detail chimeras as fearsome beasts. Dark Bowser is proof of that very concept, composed of two beings and then some. Fawful was a scientist and a member of a sentient plant species called Beanish. He was the assistant to an evil witch known as Kecletta, and he served her loyally until her demise. After that, he went into hiding for many years before returning to cause mayhem. He captured both Bowser's castle and Peach's castle, and he created an army consisting of both forces as well as a force genetically engineered to look like him. The Dark Star was a manifestation of evil and malevolence itself. By Princess Peach's decree, it was sealed away until Fawful managed to acquire it. He sapped half of his energy before losing it due to the meddling of the Mario Bros, and he became Dark Fawful. Bowser ended up ingesting the Dark Star, and it began to tear him up from inside his body, copying his DNA. Dark Fawful, bruised and beaten by Bowser and the Mario Bros, had an unfortunate encounter with the Dark Star. Strengthened by the Bowser-esque attributes it acquired, it ate him. Thus, Dark Bowser was born. Dark Bowser has three separate minds. The first is the outer shell, the Bowser body, puppeted from within by the Dark Star core, which is attached to what remains of Fawful. The monstrosity can attack in a multitude of ways, and he even gestates his own Dark Armada. Fear him, for Dark Bowser has fury. When Bowser died, he was resurrected as Dry Bowser, but his son managed to revert him back to his normal form. However, there exists a parallel dimension that contains the special worlds. In the alternate reality, Dry Bowser lived in a permanent skeletal state, unable to revert to his primary form. In his universe, he had his own army favoring the undead members like himself. Mario, Luigi, and Peach do not exist in this world, or at least, not anymore. One day, Dry Bowser discovered a pipe that led to another universe, one with a still fleshy version of himself. He was immediately prompted to enter a go-kart competition, much to everyone's confusion. He participated and left, but it was not too long afterwards that residents of the Mushroom Kingdom noticed Luigi was missing. Mario set out to rescue his brother, but he was lured into a trap devised by Dry Bowser. Mario escaped, rescued his brother, and then trampled the rest of his army before leaving again. One can sometimes spot Dry Bowser participating in events. Perhaps he shares his counterpart's interest in the activities. Perhaps he craves competition, whereas he normally has none. He won't say which. In fact, he doesn't speak at all. Even Bowser doesn't know what goes through the hollow head of his skeletal doppelganger. Shrews are a creepy foreign alien species. They sought to leave their desolate planet when they discovered in the sky the Mushroom World. Decades ago, they left for the planet with an army to take it over. They set up factories to convert the habitats into shroom-friendly environments, including transforming much of the wildlife into alien versions of the originals. They even converted Peach's castle into the Shroom Castle. Princess Shroob oversaw the invasion, and she gave morale to the troops, making many a public appearance. However, her older sister, the elder Princess Shroob, was the true mastermind behind the invasion. When Mario and Luigi went back in time to stop the invasion, teamed up with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and defeated her younger sister, elder Princess Shroob appeared before them to crush them. Speaking in her foreign language, her younger sister pleaded for her elder to gain vengeance, and so she did. She turned into her super form, and even when that was defeated, she possessed Bowser and tried a third time. She appears once again in her super form. Elder Princess Shroob cares only for her parasitic kindred, and she despises all other life. As a leader, she faces the heavy burden of protecting her people no matter the cost. They aren't creepy to her. To her, we are all the ones who are creepy, and we deserve the extermination that all pests deserve. Bowser, an abomination like no other. His species is an amalgamation of many different wild creatures, and he was born as one of the 7 star children destined to do great things. Instead, he found himself abandoned on Yoshi's Island. A wizard named Kamek adopted him and raised him as his own, using his magic to give him whatever he craved. Bowser proclaimed himself a king and decided to build a kingdom. The Yoshis tried to stop him, but his resolve grew. As an adult, he finally found his kingdom with an army of followers of varying rank and species, with an array of castles spanning the globe, and he became a single father of 8 children of his own. But even that was not enough. He sought the one thing he desired more than anything else, the hand of the beautiful Princess Peach. She, however, refused him. He kidnapped her, forcing her to be with him, only for a man named Mario to thwart him and take her back. Time and time again, Bowser has tried the same task, only to be defeated by the same man. As if defeat was not already insulting enough, the princess began to favor Mario over him. Now, Bowser has tried every trick in the book, and thus he knows how to write new ones. He's never succeeded, but it only takes one victory. He's survived lava, pitfalls, supernovae, even death itself. He's not a creature of pure evil, he just wants what he wants. Should his desire align with yours, you'll be allies. Being the selfish abomination he is, an alliance should not be expected. Mario, a name that strikes fear into the hearts of the wise and laughter into the heads of the foolish. Mario was born as one of the 7 star children and defeated many powerful foes as an infant. He spent much of his adolescence growing up in Brooklyn on Earth, where he learned many professions such as carpentry, medicine, and more, including his most prominent job, plumbing. He spent much of his early adult life hopping back and forth between jobs. His first adventure began when Donkey Kong, a large ape, kidnapped his girlfriend Pauline at a construction site. He then aimed to get revenge while still juggling many professions, but then Mario's big break arrived. He found a pipe that led him to the Mushroom Kingdom, where he found that a tyrant had kidnapped the kingdom's princess. He and his brother Luigi set out to rescue the princess and defeated the evil Bowser. Mario learned what it meant to be a hero, and he chose to remain in the Mushroom Universe, and he even began to have a thing for the fair Princess Peach. Time and time again, he would rise to be a hero, if only for a smidgen of affection from her. Mario is now a light-hearted yet stern hero. He operates under the philosophy that the journey is the destination, managing to have fun even when defeating even the most unimaginable of enemies. His dangerous exploits all serve to help the weak who cannot help themselves, and so he is revered. He rarely speaks, which adds a bit to the mystery to the legend that is Mario. In the beginning, there was Master Hand. He is practically God of his plane of existence, with the power to create and to bring life. His chosen form is a large, disembodied white glove, and as such, he created a world that resembled an enormous room of a child, fit with realistic working dioramas of various worlds. He created dolls that resembled warriors from other dimensions, and he brought life to them. The dolls fought for entertainment, and the strongest among them would fight him. However, with creation comes destruction, yin and yang, for with all the creation, destruction soon manifested in the form of Crazy Hand, Master Hand's new brother of destruction. The room and dolls were destroyed, with only Metal Mario escaping. Master Hand remade his universe after regaining control of Crazy Hand, and he held a tournament for the real heroes from other realms to visit. A few years later, he created a sprawling, diverse universe called the World of Trophies. However, an evil taboo manifested and took control of him. Fortunately, Mario and the rest of the multidimensional champions saved his world. Master Hand is mysterious and menacing, yet he is kind. He respects honor and fighting spirit above all, and he shows no judgment to the path others choose. He even harbors his destructive brother to protect the land he creates. Master Hand might be scary, but that is the duty of a doting father, or rather, a god. An onigiri is a type of cuisine found mainly in Japan on Earth. It consists of a ball of rice wrapped in seaweed. They can be found in various shapes and sizes. They are consumed by many humans around Earth on a daily basis, and they can also be found in the World of Trophies, where Master Hand includes them amongst the other foods, ranging from candy to chocolate to Maxim tomatoes to super mushrooms. However, one onigiri was sentient. Through some type of magic, this onigiri, found in the mushroom world, became a living being. In 1998, it came across Mario and Bowser. They were having a squabble about Bowser's latest construction projects, and Mario had taken to demolishing them to protect the environment. Mario had finished demolishing enough to make Bowser stop, but then Mario and some of his friends took to just making a game out of it, so Onigiri joined in on the fun. Onigiri has since remained silent. Nearly no one has seen him, so it begs the question of what he does. Does he fight for good or evil? Does he fight at all? You'd almost think from his mysterious neutrality and his black and white color scheme that he was some sort of referee, huh? There was once a young girl who would one day become a goddess of the cosmos. Rosalina is a member of a human-like alien race that lived on a very small planet in the Gateway Galaxy. One day she met a baby star called Illuma, who had lost its mother. They set out to find their mothers together, traveling amongst the stars. Eventually, the Lumas came to see her as a mother figure herself, but the young Rosalina then realized where her own mother was, buried beneath the soil back home. Rosalina aged very slowly. She is now hundreds if not thousands of years old. Her home is now the Comet Observatory, which passes through the cosmos in a 100-year cycle. She assisted Mario and Luigi when they fought Bowser on more than one occasion, and she has lately joined in their festivities, which she genuinely enjoys. However, she occasionally returns through a portal on her ship that takes her back to her home, where she can reminisce about her family, long lost to the heavens. Rosalina's comet has come to visit the Mushroom World once more. She is making the most of her visit. There's sadness behind her eyes that speaks of wisdom, though they no longer rain tears. "3,000 years ago, a powerful wizard in a foreign dimension used an ancient book to resurrect his deceased daughter. She was resurrected into the body of a pixel, a newly created digital fairy species. He made 12 more pixels before the art of pixel creation was passed down to others. 1,000 years later, her father died, and she named herself the Pixel Queen. She used her signature power to mind control the rest of her species, enslaving the remaining residents of her universe. A hero rose against her, aided by the 12 original pixels. He failed to stop her onslaught, but his companion, the second pixel, managed to sacrifice itself to defeat her. After her defeat, the hero took the ancient book and vanished. The tribe of ancients was no longer a viable form of government, and pixel creation was outlawed. A prison was built called the Pit of 100 Trials, and as punishment, the Pixel Queen was thrown into the lowest floor of the pit, and she had her pixel body forcibly removed. A formless entity trapped in a cell, she then became known simply as Shadow. She was able to populate the pit with dark copies of various creatures, but she could not escape her prison. Eventually, 4 heroes stumbled into the cell, and she copied their bodies. She would later fight them in their own bodies, but alas, they won. Shadow walks upon the ground once more, with not just one body, but with 4. She is the silent but deadly Dark Mario. She is the alluring silhouette of Dark Peach. She is the tyranny of Dark Bowser. She is the dashing Dark Luigi. If just one of the 4 heroes can change the world on a whim, what can a being that has all 4 do? Anything. Anything but smile. Princess Peach Toadstool was a star child born to the Mushroom King. Baby Bowser would kidnap her as a child, just for her to be rescued by Baby Mario. When she became an adult, she would come to be the ruling monarch of the Mushroom Kingdom in the mysterious absence of her father. She is caught between Mario and Bowser's affections, but she only returns for Mario's kindness. Peach is described as pure of heart, and all of her Toad subjects look to her faithfully. There are others who desire to use that attribute to their advantage. The Shadow Queen was a powerful demon that terrorized the world long ago. She was sealed away by 4 heroes of legend, and she could only return if she could possess a person of a pure heart, and those people are not very common. Thus, the Shadow Queen possessed the princess, using her as a new body. Mario then found her and was forced to fight Shadow Peach as the final enemy on that adventure. Shadow Peach lives once more. She has an army, dragon pets, and immense power. She even nearly killed a guy with a single blow. Peach's soul is trapped and contained. The Shadow Queen reigns dominant. Unless you happen to have the crystal stars, she is literally invincible. Just peachy. The secret society of the Crossnauts engages in secrecy, and thus not much is known about it. Its headquarters is based on the moon of the Mushroom World. The members consist of soldiers of varying degrees and specialties, such as Crossnauts, Crossnaut PhDs, Elite Crossnauts, and Lord Crump, as well as mecha-magical members like the Yucks, Cross Yucks, and Z Yucks. Their organization also once had a supercomputer called Tech Double Cross. The leader was both of biological origin as well as mechanically and magically generated, like the Yucks' Sir Grotus, leader of the Crossnauts. He set his organization to find a lost treasure. He was assisted by the Shadow Sirens, who told him it would give him world domination over the Mushroom World. Using his siren informants, he captured Princess Peach to use as a sacrifice. He broke into the Palace of Shadow where the treasure was, and he nearly obtained it, before a certain Mario intervened. Mario beat him up, but he went on to the chamber where he found the treasure was a demon called the Shadow Queen. He demanded her to hand the world to him. Instead, she tried to kill him. Now, Grotus is back from the moon, with a newly designed body to replace the one the Shadow Queen destroyed. The Crossnauts are down, but they are not out. Not only does Grotus possess the wisdom that is technology, but he also does with the aura of magic. Bow before Sir Grotus, for if he succeeds in conquering your world, it will be his second time conquering a celestial object. A semi-magical mechanical monstrosity named Smithy leads the Smithy Gang. They come from another dimension bluntly called the Factory. The Smithy Gang is composed of creatures that are forged out of metal and turned into living weapons, and Smithy is no different. Smithy can change his head into several different forms for whatever purpose he desires. His pet is the Smelter, a machine that uses molten metal to make more machines. Even if his army is defeated, he will make another. His gang tried to take over the Mushroom World in order to expand their factory, thereby converting the world into an even larger one. He created minions that could fight, shoot, disguise, transform, cut, bash, beat, and more. He even brainwashed outside talent to assist. However, in doing so, he made too many enemies, namely Bowser's Kingdom, the Mushroom Kingdom, Nimbus Kingdom, and even the stars themselves. Mario, Peach, Bowser, Mallow, and Geno, representative of all of the displeased, defeated Smithy and put him in his place. Smithy fights again, in his true form, but that won't stop him from changing the look of his face. Smithy is the ultimate weapon, mastering both science and magic, and thus he cannot be taken lightly. A combination of many parts would lead to one of the most powerful foes Mario has ever faced: Luigi, Dimentio, and the Chaos Heart. Luigi is Mario's twin and one of the 7 Star Children. He spent a long time in Mario's shadow before finally showing his true colors and rescuing Mario from King Boo. Since then, Luigi has been a vital, if overlooked, part of the Mario Bros. Team. His darkness one day came to haunt him when a secretary named Nastasia convinced him to join evil cause with their mind control. Luigi became known as Mr. L. Dimentio is a jester and magician from another dimension with an unknown origin. He joined the same ranks before Mr. L joined, and they thus worked together as evil comrades. However, his goal was different from his compatriots. He sought to use the Void to destroy all universes and replace them with one made in his own image as God. He took the Chaos Heart, a magical object foretold in prophecy, and he used it to make Mr. L a puppet, all 3 of them combined into one being, Super Dimentio. Super Dimentio cares not for what Luigi believed. He is a complete psychopath with only Dimentio's ideals in mind. He will kill anyone who stands in his way. He will kill anyone who isn't in his way. For Super Dimentio, it is only a matter of time until he kills you. With creation comes destruction, yin and yang. When Master Hand recreated his world of trophies into a sprawling, fertile existence, another dimension formed alongside the world of trophies: subspace. Deep within subspace, a being that would come to control it manifested, and his name was Taboo. Taboo used the material in subspace to create an army of dark, evil puppets, and many other creatures. He captured Master Hand and chained him up, using him as a puppet as well. Pretending to be Master Hand, Taboo convinced the fighters of the tournament to turn against each other. Taboo is even responsible for the extinction of the entire race of robotic operating buddies, bar one. The fighters, however, ended up teaming up together and taking Taboo down. Taboo's appearance is vague, mysterious, and menacing. His one goal is freedom to roam, but leaving subspace pains him. That is the reason he brings the world to him instead. Only when 30 people were simultaneously attacking him did he ever lose. Even though Mario doesn't use it much anymore, Mario does own his own castle. And Wario was quite jealous of it once. Wario wanted Mario's castle all for himself, so Wario crafted a plan so Mario would leave the area for an extended period of time. Wario hired an alien named Tatanga to kidnap the princess of a faraway land, and Mario found out about the kidnapping, so Mario left for Sarasland to rescue the kidnapped Princess Daisy. Tatanga managed to entrance the leaders of the lesser kingdoms within Sarasland to turn the leaders into his minions. Mario fought and defeated all of them, and he took Princess Daisy back from Tatanga. When Mario returned from Sarasland, he found that Tatanga had been a distraction so Wario could take over Mario Land. Mario then fought a bunch of Wario's minions, and this included Tatanga. Tatanga lost, and his defeat would be followed by Wario. Tatanga returns as a mercenary and hired boss, but he no longer answers to Wario. He fights for himself in his alien war machine. Space, air, water, no terrain is unable to be navigated by this petite invader. In the capital city Toad Town of the Mushroom Kingdom, a dojo trains citizens who wish to improve their skills. The owner of the dojo is simply known as the Master. He is a toad who is superb at fighting, and no one had ever beaten him. He took on 2 apprentices. The first was Lee, a reformed Duplighost that could copy opponents' moves. The other was Chan, a fighting Koopa. The master trained those 2 until one day Mario approached him with a request for training himself. With the assistance of his partners, Mario faced Chan, followed by Lee. After Mario defeated them, the master challenged Mario, but the master restrained himself. Mario won, and the next fight featured the master in his second golden form. When Mario won again, the master faced him going all out in his final form. Mario won, but the master felt victorious for helping the kingdom's hero grow even further in strength. The master has more strength than any other Toad, rivaling even the great Mario. He offers his services to those in need, but otherwise he lives a quiet and peaceful life. Life right now is not peaceful, and the master has arrived on the battlefield in his final form to ensure victory for the Toads. In the Mushroom Universe, there are few religions, but one speaks of truth. It tells that everything is but a game with levels, heroes, and villains. You live your life until your game is over. However, should you be chosen, your game can be assisted by the observer in the sky, the god of the games, the player. The player is an invisible entity that exists outside of the Mushroom Universe. It can peer into other universes such as the Mushroom Universe, but its dominion includes many other dimensions as well. Once a wise shaman, Bestovius, tried to explain to Mario what the A button did, but Mario just gave him a confused glance. Bestovius shook his head and lamented that beings in a higher dimension would understand. It is not knowing what exactly the player is it just one being or multiple, whatever it is, it can influence specific character control but only a handful at a time. It also has on many occasions halted enemy progress to aid the chosen ones. It can even spawn blocks and hands to interact with the world. The player nearly unilaterally acts on the behalf of good. However, he will not intervene so much as to take anyone down on his own. He simply will help those who help themselves. Perhaps that is how Mario always wins. Perhaps he has the power of God on his side. Wart is the leader of a gang known as the 8-Bits, and he hails from the dimension of Subcon, a land of dreams. The residents of Subcon, known simply as Subcons, owned a dream machine, which Wart stole and repurposed into what he called the Nightmare Machine. It created an army to serve him, the 8-Bits, and it would replenish the army with new soldiers constantly. A storybook linked Subcon to another world, and Wart reached through the book and kidnapped 2 Arabian children, Pokey and Peaky. Their family then set out on an adventure to retrieve them, and they defeated Wart and rescued them. Later, Wart tried a second time to rule Subcon, this time without kidnapping. However, the Subcons convinced Mario and his friends to help, resulting in Wart's second defeat. Eventually, Wart even tried a third time, but he lost in the same fashion. Wart's tale is not one of victory, but that doesn't stop him from trying. He and Bowser aren't too different. Wart wants to rule Subcon, and he will do anything that will get him just that. He will oppress fairies, create monsters, steal technologies, and kidnap children. Certainly, Wart is quite a felonious villain.